Yeah, yeah. So today morning, Mr. K.
Yeah, good morning, Eric.
Mm, yeah. So today we talk about lying. So the topic is: Are you good at spotting lies? Are you good at lying? Okay. First thing, I think before start discussing this topic, there's two questions. The first is it bad to lie? So that means is the liar is bad or good? Yeah.
Mm,
And the second question is it bad being lied? So that means the victim, is it bad for them?
mm.
Yeah. So what's your opinion?
Um, okay, I think mostly when uh when you stand on like something like your own perspective, which is like, is it bad to lie? And then from this sentence, it is more like uh you put yourself into the situation to see it is look at the self. So I think from this perspective, uh, yeah, I would like to say it is it depends something like that. Uh, but in overall, I think it is still not a good thing.
Mm,
Mm, yep, and I would think it is it depends because sometimes we know that uh, we we lies and then we can actually make the things uh, maybe simpler or less troublesome,
mm,
or maybe like it is easier to deal with it.
mm,
Mm, yep. So in this case, this is like the not so bad to lie. This is something generate uh, the benefit that you expect, that you want.
mm,
And on the other hand, lies to me, which I think not so good, is because yeah, I think it is like uh, not so fair or not so moral. Yeah, actually, my moral value is the moral value affecting me quite a lot. The mental cost, all kind of things. Yeah, and this is contributing to why I think it is not good. It is bad. And also, one another reason I think it is bad is because if you lie and then it actually affects how other people trust you in the long term. Yeah,
mm,
and uh, unless your lies can last forever, yeah, which means nobody is going to discover you. Yep, and but it's difficult because you have to keep creating lies to cover your previous lies.
mm. And just like you say about the fair and also the moral value. So can you give some example in what situation lie to others is giving unfair to others?
Okay, example. Okay, let's say uh someone someone get some uh illnesses, and then let's say I'm uh the person who has the right to know, and then uh I didn't tell the person because maybe I don't want him to worry too much. Maybe I tell this is just a normal illness, not so serious. And because my intention is actually good, maybe I want him not to worry so much. Worry doesn't help the illness. It will make it worse. So maybe I didn't tell. Yeah, you can imagine this is the case, like maybe your not say your maybe somebody's grandparents, yeah, maybe they are like 70 years old and above. They are old, and then they get maybe some serious illness like cancer. uh yeah, sometimes people, well, maybe the son or the son or the daughter, they know it from the doctor, and doctor tell the son and the daughter about what illnesses the grandparents has got. But the daughter or the son may not tell the truth to their grandparents because they want them to worry. They don't want them to worry so much. So maybe they say this is another not so serious disease. Yeah, in that case, I think it is not so fair because the grandparents actually has the right to know what happened to himself. Of course, he can like ask the doctor, but uh, sometimes they didn't do that. But the son and the daughter maybe lies to them, so they maybe they don't realize they're lying or what.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think even though if the at the end, if they know it, it is a worst case. But I think they still has the uh, has the right to know and shouldn't be lied. Yeah, it is not fair.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got 2 points from your example. The first is you actually think hiding the truth is same as lying, is it?
Yeah. Yep.
Mm. And the second thing is if your parents get older and then you become the ones who choose lie or not lie, and you would choose not to lie, is it? You tell your parents the truth, just as what doctor told you.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, but so what thing you consider? Is it just about fair or not fair, and also like moral value, or maybe you care about your parents? Let's say, yeah, give another example. Let's say a parents have the history of heart attack,
Mm.
or maybe he or she has the high blood pressure or hypertension, so he or she couldn't receive the kind of like the stress and also like the big surprise.
Mm.
And everyone who know the truth will try to quote unquote hide the truth, or hide something, or hide the surprise
Mm.
to prevent the trigger the disease.
Yep.
Yeah. So in this case, is fair or not fair still important?
Mm. Yeah, because fair or not fair here is not so significant anymore comparing to like uh it will trigger some serious disease, maybe cause death. Um, yeah, of course, in that case, even though uh, I think it is, there are more important things, more other important things, to
Mm,
consider than just fair and not fair.
mm. And is it just a narrative, is it? Because you see, let's say you tell your parents or you tell grandparents, wouldn't it increase the mortality rate? I mean, sorry, I think, wouldn't it increase the risk of death?
Actually, well,
Mm. For
yeah,
example, let's say, uh, for example, you know that your parents need to go to do chemotherapy and your parents is not going to do that, you know that. And because your parents don't want to spend money,
Yep.
they think they are old. They think they don't need to live another 3 to 5 years. They can die anytime soon. Yeah, they just don't want to increase the burden of their children. And for children, they know about this. And so if there is some things you can lie, you can hide to trick them and then to cheat them, go to do the chemotherapy, would you do that?
Okay, if their consideration is just something you say like money, this is the only consideration. Yeah, I think I would do that.
Why money is just the only consideration? Maybe the pain, the
Yeah.
stress is also consideration. Your parent will get the pain.
Yep. I think I think it is possible to kind of like discuss these things with the patient, which is like why what make her or him take or not take chemotherapy. Yeah, I want to know the reason first. Is it just because of it is expensive, or it is costly, or it is because they don't want to suffer so much, and then to get
Okay, let me ask you a question. What if you know doing the chemotherapy have 50%? You have 50% die, you have 50% survive. Will you do that on your parents?
Yeah, I think I will let them actually I will let them make the decisions, and also tell them about 50% to them.
Yeah. So what
because
if this is your children?
my children
What if this is your partner?
mm,
So it's
yeah.
just about the value. You value your children, you value because it is immediate family. You value it more than your should I say this? You value the life of children more than the life of your parents, or you value the life of your partner more than the life of your parents. But it is a truth. Otherwise, the answer would be same. But it doesn't mean that we are bad. This is just about our value.
Yes. Could be one of it, but I think other than that, it can also be like, because you say children, in my mind, I don't know what age of children are you referring to. It is like 15 or 25 or like 40, because if they are too young, and I just afraid maybe they are not mature enough to make the decisions, and also consider. Yeah.
When they are 30, you are 70, and when they do something that you think is immature, you will think their mindset is still immature, no matter what their age is. Yeah. The fact is they are younger than you, and you will think they didn't make a good decision at this point. You can explain to him, but he or she hold his or her point. You hold your point. Yeah. If things is so easy to get into the agreements, we won't have the conflict. Yeah. And are you care about yourself, or are you care about them in this case? if they are immature or mature, whether they did a good decision or whether they did a correct decision or wrong decision, doesn't matter to you. If it doesn't matter to you, why do you care whether they are immature or mature? And immature and mature is not just about the age. A 30 years old guy can be immature. A 15 years old guy can have very, very mature mindset. But just about the conventional thinking, you think they are just 15 years old. They didn't consider well.
Yep.
So is it still fair or not fair? You didn't give them the right to choose, or you didn't think that they have the ability to think. When you think you are fair on some area, you are actually giving unfair to some other area.
Yep. You're right. Yep. Yeah, I think just how you say, am I doing this for them or doing it for myself? I think if we kind of like make a decision for them or lies to them, yeah, I think it is like more for ourselves.
And if you do something on them, the reason is because of self. Is this fair or not fair to them?
Yeah.
So in this case, do you lie to yourself that you actually want them good, but actually you just want yourself good, maybe in terms of mental? Is this a lying to yourself?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We always like having the thinking of I'm doing this just for your good, for your own good, and without realizing that there is a portion of uh, the 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 fair and unfair values to which is from ourselves, not really for them. It is like is it good or not good for you and not the person. Yep.
Yeah, and so go back to the question in the beginning of this conversation, which is being the victims of a lie is so bad?
Yep. This is the second question you say, right? Being lie. Being lie. Yeah, sometimes good, sometimes not good.
What determines this? What determines good or not good? Is it the lie itself?
Yeah, because sometimes we think we need to make the decision by our own. We need to know the truth instead of lies.
But maybe knowing the truth is not good for you, is it?
Yeah, sometimes it is like that. Yep.
Yeah, so is a lie make the thing good or bad? Or actually it depends on the situation.
Yeah, I think white lies make the things better, and white lies means with the good intention, and the opposite, which is some bad intention lies, make the things worse.
Why good intention necessarily lead to good result? Just like the example we discussed just now.
Mm.
Yeah, chemotherapy on your parents, on your children, or on your partner. Do you have a good intention? Yes, you don't want them to die.
Yeah.
Mm. So this is good intention, right? But does it really lead to a good result? So how can you say white lie lead to the goods, and the black line or the negative intention line lead to the bad? And does negative intention does negatively intended line really lead to the bad? Think about it. Many people learn from their lessons. Many people get cheated, and because they get cheated, they learn from the lesson, and then they become more stronger, smarter, harder person, a more resilient person. So it's a lie, or it's the negative intentions things or issue they had faced. Is it good for them, or is it bad for them?
Yeah, I think in short term maybe they suffer some losses. Yeah, and then if the person did learn the lesson from it, and yeah, this is what he get, what he gained. Yeah, so no, so it is something like not absolute answer for that.
Yeah, I think it could be end up in both of the way. Yeah, the line, let's say is a bad line, or is the quote unquote like the black line, can lead to good result, can also lead to bad result, right?
Yep.
And how about white line? It also can lead to good result or lead to bad result. So my question is a line change the result?
The result. Oh, you mean the result refer to the
Whether good or bad?
Oh, good or bad? Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm quite confused for this. Good result. Let's say it is the case like chemotherapy. If you lie to them and then at the end they get they recover from that. The
How do
result
you know that? How do you know they recover from that is a good result? How do you know that they die is necessarily a bad result?
Yeah. So it depends on what. Yeah, I think the decision should be made kind of like by themselves. Because they are responsible for that. And also before they take the chemo, it is something uncertain. So it is like really hard to say
Yeah.
good or bad.
Yeah. I would like to share you one story. This is something I learned from a TED Talk, and this is I think this is also a book, and this is something like related to the choice. And in the TED Talk and also in the book, we study whether we really know what is good or bad choice. And one story is highly related to the chemotherapy example just now is a child. Let's say a mother give birth a child, and then the child have some problem, has some issue that he can only stay on the bed, and he couldn't he or she the baby couldn't walk, couldn't talk, and couldn't do any other things like normal people do. They 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 can survive, but they they have to rely on the bed. I mean, they have to rely on the equipment to survive.
Yep.
They can survive for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years until he dies. Nobody know how long the child can survive. And the doctor in some country, the guidance is doctor must give the parents choose. Must let the parents choose. They cannot choose on behalf by the parents because this is ethical code in the country.
Okay.
And what if the doctor tell the parents like this? How many parents would choose to let the baby die peacefully immediately instead of let the baby rely on the medical equipment until he or she died? And the parents can see the baby, can watch the baby, can like talk to the baby. Yeah. When the baby's still alive. And this is a very, very costly decision. Okay. And to be honest, most of the parents decided to let the baby die immediately and peacefully. Yeah. After came out the rational decisions. Sorry, I missed after thinking rationally, yeah, this is the best choice for the baby and also for the parents. But in some country, the doctor decides for their parents. Then let the baby die immediately. And peacefully. Without letting parents choose. You think it's unfair, right? You think it is immoral, right?
Yep.
But in long term, after 5 years, after 3 years, or after 1 year, after 10 years, the parents who have a choice and also who choose to let the baby die by themselves, they still suffer in the incident. They still think, what if I don't let my baby die? Maybe I still can watch them. Maybe nowadays the technology able to let him or her recover. I kill a person, I kill my baby, I kill my second life. For example, some people think like your baby is your second life. Yeah. Yeah, they still suffer from this incident.
Yep.
But for those countries who don't have this kind of ethical code, the doctor choose for the parents, and in the short term, parents blame the doctor, but this is a law. Doctor have a choice. Yeah, but after long term, the parents actually become happier. They will say, yeah, the baby come to us just one day, Yeah, they come to our life just only one day, but he teaches so many things. The baby teaches how to live well our life. Just one day, but the baby teaches enormous things that we may not able to learn in our life. They will kind of like have the happiness. So if you look at the long term, which one is good? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is quite similar to our previous discussion, which is like, yeah, in this topic, fair and unfair, and also compared to other more important things to consider. Yeah, even though it seems like unfair for not letting the parents to choose, but just choose for these decisions. But other than that, other than fair and unfair, yeah, the other more important things like your longer term happiness. Yep. Yeah. Is something, some other things to consider,
But
to
if you
judge
let
bad or good.
yeah, but if you let the parent choose whether they will be glad to live in the country who don't have the ethical code to let them do their own decision, or the other country that don't let them do their own decision, which country the parents would be glad to live in?
Yeah, I think parents.
They
I think.
prefer that. They prefer that. They prefer that they have the choice to make decision, right? They can
Yeah.
make their own decision, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you tell them that the whole story, and you still let them choose? Would they choose to let the doctor kill their baby, kill their child, without
Maybe.
giving them any choice?
Yeah, maybe half.
Yeah, it is still hard to say, and most of parents will still believe in themselves.
Yeah.
So in this case, is lying to them or hiding the fact to them is good or not? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is not a very easy thing. It's a very complicated thing. When you talk about good intention or bad intention, whether it leads to good result, bad result, there's so much variables.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you shouldn't fix yourself in the only one direction.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And okay. And look at your personal experience, how many lines you have spotted. How Yeah, because you can never know whether people lie to you until you spot the lie, right?
Yeah.
So have you even spot the lie?
Yeah, I think for every person, yeah, that uh, we must have some experiences which we spot the lies, small and big things.
Yeah. So overall to your life, is it good or bad?
Um,
Or no effect, no impact?
I think I didn't like uh have much memories about like being lies. Okay, of course I realize I do aware I'm aware of I when I don't spot the lies, I don't even uh know about that. Yeah, there is a portion to that, and some others maybe it's not regarding to big decision. Uh, so I think if it is not a big decision to our life, uh, It is like not much different.
Okay, let me give you some example.
Mm.
Your teacher, primary school, secondary school, or college lecturer tell you that you need to study hard. Your parents also tell you need to study hard in order to kind of like get success, to live well when you get older.
Mm.
Is this a lie?
Yeah, I actually don't think this is a lie. People can tell you anything. People can tell you uh, any opinion of them. And for this one, I think depends on how we look at the things. We have to judge the things by our own.
Mm.
Yeah.
So does it matter people lie to you or not lie to you? You still have to rely on your connected to make decision. Do you get what I mean?
Mm, yeah, I think actually it doesn't matter much. For example, somebody, let's say your friends cheat you, something, lie to you, and yeah, maybe you get some losses. But to me, I would think like it is because I'm not careful enough or I trust him too much. I won't like treat it as 100% is his or her fault. I
Mm.
will also assign some of the fault to myself. Uh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. So my question is the boundary become blur, and whether you lie or not lie to people, they need to do their own decisions. You lie to them or not lie to them. You're telling them the truth, you're telling them the fact, or you're telling them a fact that you think is a fact, but actually is not fact. They still have to judge for themselves because you don't have 100% certainty on something that you know.
Yeah.
And also you may overconfidence. You may also underconfident. You have your own cognitive bias.
Mm.
Your information in many situations misleads others.
Yeah.
So no matter you have the good intention, have the bad intention, no matter you have the intention of telling the lie or not, or don't have the intention to tell the lie, you can affect people's life if they just blindly follow your decision.
Mm.
Of course, they won't do that. Yeah. And they think, they act. So, yeah, back to the beginning. Back to the question in the beginning. Is the people being lied is the victims? Is the people who lie to others really, really that bad?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I started to change from something more absolute answer to like something like 50-50.
Mm. Yeah, because the result is uncontrollable, right?
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah, and also I believe you heard many stories that people who wants to, let's say, for example, they want to hurt other people, but end up they benefit other people, or the people who want to help people end up they hurt the people.
Yeah.
Many this kind of story.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to me, I don't care whether people lie on me or not lie to me. I rely on my cognitive. I do my own research.
Mm.
Mm. and I manage my own risk. Yeah, if something seems so good, and yeah, if something looks so good, and people is what people tell me. Let's say it's a pyramid, it's like, for example, money game. Yeah, it's so good, and the history is so good, and no people lose money, and the company has, let's say, incorporated in let's say, for example, 1920. So or 1922 is already 100 years history, and the company is still running. So there's no chance that the company is 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 kind of like using the incoming person money to fit to uh, to pay the uh, the the higher tier of the people. Yeah, so in short, this is not a money game. They're really providing the value. They're really creating a value. Yeah, so you can have many kind of like the evidence to show, or you can see when people show you. And but you still need to rely on your thinking to make the decision. And even though maybe you trust it, you are willing to try, you're not going to do the all in. Yeah, of course, some people all in. But it is because they don't have a good risk intelligence, they don't have a good investments thesis, or good investments methodologies. So they tend to all in. Okay, but one thing which is my principle, I don't lie to others. Yeah, when I was in secondary school, I actually enjoy lying to others. I'll kind of like, sometimes I will fake, I will fake like I falling down. Yeah, and it is so real, and everyone will realize. Everyone couldn't notice that I'm lying to them. It seems like I really falling down, and they laugh, and I let them laugh, something like that. Or I do something look silly, but I do it purposely. Yeah, I tend to do something like that, and then they make fun of me, and I also make fun of them, something like that. Yeah, it's kind of like a weird win-win scenario here. Yeah, and I also lie to other people. For example, they ask me whether I finished my homework, or whether like where did I go yesterday, and yeah, I like to lie them. I like to lie to them, and but after sometimes I found that it is actually there's no meaning. Yeah, no meaning. So I quit doing that. And then after I learn more, and then I become more aware that actually it is better to telling the truth to others, or maybe just follow your mind, just follow your heart. When you think something you should tell other people, then you tell. When you think something you shouldn't tell other people, then you don't tell. But you seldom, I mean, for me, I seldom create a lie. I seldom change the reality. I seldom change the fact and tell people the untrue thing. I may hide something. Yeah, and Even until nowadays, I still keep doing that. Yeah, because you couldn't tell the whole truth to others. And also, we want our life simpler. And if you need to tell every detail for your every actions to convince or to persuade others, and it's just troublesome. Or you have to let them know. Let's say, for example, a good teacher is not explain every detail, every nuances to their students. The best teacher is tell them the most important things, and then tell them the principle. And the students will always face a problem and come back to the teacher. And the teacher say, remember the first principle and rethink your question, rethink the problem, how to use the first principle to solve a problem. And the student will kind of like, oh, have the light in their mind. Oh, they suddenly know how to do it. And next time the student come back to the teacher, the first principle doesn't work in this case. And then the teacher answer the student, we not only have one principle, yeah, look at the third principle. The third principle is not separated from the first principle. They have to work in this. They have to work together. So if you incorporate the principle to the first principle, what's the reality you see? How can you solve a problem? Yeah, this is the best teacher do. They kind of give you a big idea, and then they give you the principle, and then you try to use the model to solve it, and also you also use your own method to solve it. And every time you face a problem, you think the model is broken. Maybe the model is broken, or maybe it's not. And when you goes to your teacher, and the teacher show you how to apply the principle into the task or into your life. The teacher is not going to tell you every nuance of every detail. Yeah. Yeah, so that yeah, I still hide some fact, something we don't need to say, or something related to our privacy we don't need to disclose to other people.
Yep.
Yeah. But the reason I don't cheat others, I don't lie to others, is because I don't want to lie to myself. When you lie to others, you are also lying to yourself. Yeah. The more you lie to others, the more you lie to yourself. And people hard to understand this. Yeah, but this is the truth. Yeah, so far, the more I learn, the more I confirm, the more I can falsify it. And then I highly and truly believe this is the truth. And I will keep following this principle.
Yeah. So in your case, previously when you are young, you enjoy lying. So which means lying actually gives you some benefits, whether it's mental or physical. It did give you the benefit. And after some times you found that actually telling the truth or not lying to yourself.
Sorry, I think you didn't fully understand my context. The thing I like in secondary school is no meaning. It's kind of like have fun. Yeah. But the real life, I mean the more serious line is kind of like, to me, it's kind of like you really know that. How can an adult don't know that working hard is not going to get you rich? How can an adult don't know this? Have you learned the math? Yeah, have you learned the elemental mathematics? Yeah, if you have learned it, how can you convince yourself? How can you not believe this is a lie and tell people working hard is going to get you rich, is going to get you success? Yeah. So if the student asks you back, did you work hard to become a teacher? How will you answer? Do I need to be engineer? Do I need to be the programmer or the bankers in order to show that I'm working hard enough to earn enough income to support my living in order to achieve financial freedom? I'm just a teacher. If I didn't change my job, this is my destiny. What is my destiny? Your salary, and then you project the growth rate on your salary, and then you times the total period you expect you still you're still working, and this is the maximum money you will earn in your life, beside of others like investment, right?
Yep.
So if you know about the math, how can you convince yourself? Yeah, working hard is so important, and then so that you, and also study hard is so important, and you tell your student keep study. And also, how can an adult don't know the fact that most of the things we learn in college, in secondary school, in elementary school, is not going to be used in real life?
Yep.
Yeah. How can you say this is not lie? Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I was in secondary school, I enjoyed lying. Okay, but this is just a small lie. If I want to say the tiny lie, and the lie doesn't change anything.
Yep.
It's just like I make fun on other people, and also let other people make fun of me, and we have fun. I treat them, and then sometimes I tell them. Sometimes I tell them the truth, and then yeah, I couldn't spot your lie, something like that. And I just enjoy. This is kind of like the hobbies, or maybe, and also a thing to have fun.
Yeah.
And after sometimes I found that it has no meaning. Yeah, no meaning. I don't need to do that. And it is so kind of like childish to make fun on other people, and also like to kind of like have fun with each other by
Yep.
using line. Yeah, I quit this. But the more I learned, I found that actually line is not good. But the line, but the line is not same as the line I did in secondary school. Understand?
Yeah. Yep. That is for like entertainment, some kind of like a little hobby that you did in the past, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm. Yeah. So this is a uh two different things. Yeah, you shouldn't link them into kind of like one part. This is not the case. Yeah, and when talking about online, so it leads to the next question, which is spotting the line necessary? And so far we know that lying can actually have two types, which is your lying to others, and the second type is your lying to yourself. Sometimes the same lie achieve two things, sometimes achieve one thing. Sometimes you just lie to yourself. You rationalize your decisions, you rationalize your action. Sometimes you lie to others. Yeah. try to imagine, for example, I think many people, okay, most of people, they have the doubt. They have the doubt whether their career is really a good decision, right?
Yep.
Do you have the doubt? Do you ever have the doubt before whether
Uh,
being a teacher is really a good career or not?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, many people have the doubt. Many people will come through this kind of thinking. Okay, but when you discuss your career with other people, let's say to many strangers, how will you describe your career to others, to strangers? You will show them the positive outlook, right?
Yep.
You show them how much passion you have in your job. You will show them how much joy of having this kind of job, and other people will do the same thing. So you lie to others, you also lie to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when this is the case, and I also remember that I make the similar example in the past, like you go on the parties, and you tell people like how well you are doing, and people also tell you how well they are doing, and then but you actually inside your heart, you know that you are actually not doing so well, and but you believe people doing so well, and then you feel so bad. But other people also have the same mindset as you. And also I give another example, which is you don't communicate with you don't take the initiative to maintain your friendship. Your friend also don't take initiative to maintain the friendship, to contact you, to pick up the phone and call you, to contact you, to maintain the relationship. And then you think your friend your friend forget you, so it's not a big deal, I don't call them. But they also have the same mindset, and you may think they are busy, I don't want to call him. They also have the same mindset, you are busy, so they don't want to disturb you. But after some time, both of you lost the contact, and then you just lose the friendship. So it is something like, sometimes the game theory put you into the environment, put you into the situation that you lie to yourself and lie to others. And when all of you comes together just because of the game theory, and then you doing something that lie to others, and you also lie to yourself, and but no benefit to you and no benefit to them. Yeah. So it could be both ways. Sometimes you lie to yourself, sometimes you lie to others, sometimes you do both at the same time. And it leads to the next question: is spotting lie necessary? Yeah. What's your opinion?
I think if, let's say, we would lie to ourselves, I think here it is quite important to spot the lies, to realize that actually you are rationalize something. You trick yourself. Yeah, sometimes we did that. So I think in this aspect, it is actually good to spot the lie. Yep.
But when people lie to us, is it necessary we have to spot their lie?
Yeah, for this one, I think for some not so important things, for example, part in the party is what they say. Yeah, I think that is not important, and we don't need to spot the lies. For other things, for example, it will affect your gain and losses. Maybe some people want to uh, do something with you, and then it lies. It will maybe like affect your interest or what. In that case, I think spot the lies. Instead of saying spot the lies, I think it's like aware of lies.
You just keep quiet and do something they don't want you to do. Is it something like that? For example, they want you to buy the car, and you just say, "I don't want to buy."
Yeah.
Is it something like that? Yeah, you don't need to spot their lie.
Yep. Now you need to aware of it, and whenever they tell you, you have to like go over the analysis, the risk, cost and benefit by your own. Yep. Yeah, and also like between friends, you need to be careful not to be affected by your trust too much. Something that you won't do with other people, you also shouldn't like do it with people you trust. What I mean is you shouldn't like follow your trust. Let's say I trust this guy, so I can take some risky decisions offered by him. That is not the case.
Yeah, and the more you're aware of this thing, the thing you mentioned just now, what kind of strategy will form? Keep going those parties, keep making the friends that is going to lie to you, who didn't aware the whole conversation we came through just now. And then so that you have to keep activate your brain and do the cost and benefit analysis and try to be conscious about whether this is a lie, whether they are telling the truth, what is the intent, what is the incentive behind that. You have to keep doing all of these things when you have communication with them. Or another strategy is you leave, you end a relationship, make friends, and find a relationship that the counterparty fully aware of this thing. And then they don't lie to themselves. They also don't lie to other people. Do you get what it means?
Yeah, but for the first strategy, it is like still continue doing nothing changed, right?
Yeah, but you're aware that. Wouldn't you feel tired?
Actually, I can accept it, which is like because most of the things doesn't actually make us lose anything. So,
but
yeah,
you have the opportunity cost. You spend your time be with them. You spend your time react to their behavior that have no meaning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So for me, the more I realize this, and then the more I believe, the more I know that lying to others and also lying to ourselves is not a good move. Then my strategy will become, I want to find a person who fully aware this, who know this, so they are not going to lie to themselves. They're also not going to lie to you. And one of thing I think this is good to describe how how do you make a lie be so good and let people really trust a lie? Let people really believe this is true. Is you have to convince yourself this is a truth, it's not a lie. Yeah. So first thing you have to convince yourself this is not a lie. This is just like a truth. And then you just tell it just like the truth, just like you are telling the truth.
Yep.
And this is what I found when I was in secondary school. When you want to fake, when you want to lie to others, you really need to like believe this is possible. It is something like that. Yeah. But at the same time, you are also lying to yourself. So the best lie is you're lying to yourself and lie to others. And not only others believe you're lying, you also believe you're lying.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's from this perspective, yeah, I really feel scared when people couldn't differentiate whether they are telling the lie or telling the truth.
Yep.
So I prefer a persons who fully aware this and who don't have the tendency to lie to others and also who lie to themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think this is all the thing I want to discuss for today's topic. How about you?
Yeah, I think me too.
Okay, so talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you tomorrow, Eric.